Former mayor and now president and CEO of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, Jerry Sanders. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Peggy.
Well, yesterday, City Council committee took up Todd Gloria's plan to raise the minimum wage to $13.09 an hour over the next 3 years. They also asked if the proposed wage increase could happen without a public vote. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't think it's a great idea. I think the public would want to deliberate and weigh in on this, and it's an important issue, one that affects employment, so I think it should go to the voters.
Mm-hmm. If it eventually goes to the voters and it passes, is it something that you would fight or oppose?
Well, it's something we oppose. There's a lot of reasons for the opposition on it. Not that we don't think people need to make more money, but labor costs can only go up so much. And just with the state raising theirs to $10 an hour, it goes up by 25%. $13 raises it by about 66%, 62%, somewhere in there.
And I want to drill down on that a little bit further, but I also wanted to bring up the point that there's a second initiative moving forward that's gathering signatures right now that would raise the minimum wage to $12 an hour by 2018 and exempt the majority of small businesses from having to pay it. Do you support that proposal?
I don't know much about that proposal, so I can't say whether we support it or not. I do know it's pretty tough to get 57,000 signatures in the time frame they have, so we'll certainly watch it, but right now we're more focused on Todd Gloria's bill.
Yeah, and you were talking about that increase, as far as the percentage increase. What kind of impact do you see if the minimum wage was raised in San Diego, not waiting for the states? What kind of impact do you see that having on businesses?
Well, a 60% increase in labor costs over a few years, businesses don't make that much money that quickly. So it's a huge cost in labor without the corresponding cost in revenue. And what we see is a lot of businesses will have to raise their prices, so we could see an inflationary scale.
When it comes to businesses, I think you've also mentioned before that you feel like it would push businesses out of the city into underlying areas.
When the city takes unilateral action, it's just as easy to relocate your business in Poway or in La Mesa or in El Cajon as it is to stay in San Diego, and we think that harms the business environment here. That's the reason the state wage increase is across the entire state, so it doesn't have the same impact in terms of business relocation.
And I want to talk about that a little bit, because I know that UC Berkeley, they did a pretty in-depth study that looked at boosting minimum wage in the city of San Francisco, which happened. They said it had no effect on employment or job losses. And in fact, Santa Fe, New Mexico also had a minimum wage increase of about $10 an hour. So some economists would say that boosting the minimum wage could actually benefit the local economy. Is that, could you see that side?
I've heard that, but I've also seen the Brookings Institute report, which indicates youth hiring will go down. It's at its lowest level of hiring right now since World War II. Businesses are simply not going to pay those wages to youth who get their start in business and who actually learn skills to move up. So, there's both sides on this, and then we see the inflation because small business has to raise their prices, so it kind of negates whatever action that CPI said that there'll be, more money in the marketplace.
And speaking of CPI, Center on Policy Initiatives, their report came out that said that the average adult, a working adult in San Diego, needed to earn $13 an hour in order to afford to live in San Diego without public assistance. That would affect about 300,000 local families, they believe, having to have this $13 an hour salary. And they also said that could create like a stable workforce. So what do you say to that argument?
Well, it is expensive to live in San Diego. Nobody disputes that, and wages are an important part of that. But if you just increase labor costs without any increase in productivity, basically what you're saying is without you doing any more work, without you being more productive, without you being a better employee, we're just going to raise your wages. And in Todd Gloria's bill, it would also raise it every single year according to the cost index going up, which means that you don't have to do anything differently and you're just getting higher salaries, and that's just not the way business works.
Well, but some of it, and this is my own personal idea, is that some of it is that, you might, these people that are getting minimum wage might be food servers or might be cleaning, there is no way to actually increase your productivity. So what about those people?
Well, and I think that if you look at food servers, they're certainly not averaging in the tips that they get. They get minimum wage plus tips, and that's been one of the reasons the restaurant industry has said this doesn't make sense. They're already making over $14 an hour on average right now. A lot of hotel employees, certainly not the maids probably, but many of the others, it's a tip economy there. Whether you're doing valet or whether you're doing many of the other things. So, you know, I think one bill fits all certainly doesn't work in this circumstance, and that's what we're seeing.
Okay, well, we have a lot more with you and your comments on our website, kpbs.org. Jerry Sanders, thank you so much.
Thank you.